Hello, welcome once more to the contrary fuchsia. I'm not in a very wintry setting, but it is spectacular and beautiful. I'm in Church Forest Park in Kilcornan in Limerick, and it's a magical place. If you've never been here, you need to get down here, spend a few hours. I'll do some more programs around here, but today's program, little piece, is about a plant that you all know for Christmas, and it's called the poinsettia. Euphorbia pulcherrima is actually the proper name for it. Euphorb is a Greek name after a king of Greece, and pulcherrima literally means beautiful, and it is a magnificent plant, member of the Euphorbia family. And Euphorbia Euphorbia family have a few characteristics. One of the characteristics in it is that they produce a kind of a milky sap, which can be a real irritant. So be careful with this plant. You can have it around children, but the skin can be quite irritating, or it can irritate your skin quite a bit. The other thing there's a couple of plants coming from that. Hevia is one, Hevia brasiliensis, which is the plant from which we get latex. But the other plant is ricinus. I knew that was in the Euphorbia family, and ricinus is the plant from which you get castor oil plant. And ricinus produces ricin, which is by volume one of the most toxic substances on earth. So it's quite a diverse family, huge number of plants. But Euphorbia pulcherrima poinsettia is the one we use for Christmas. It's the red one with the red bracts. Now, they're not flowers. They look like flowers, but they're not. The flowers are actually the tiny things in the centre, and technically they're called synaphia. And what that is a central female flower surrounded by several different male flowers. So it's a cluster of flowers together, unlike, say, a plant like a daisy. If you look in the centre of a daisy, it's a Compositae family, but if you look in the centre of a daisy, it's actually there's a whole lot of flowers together in the centre of the plant, which is slightly different to what the Euphorbia is. Now, Euphorbia is a beautiful, beautiful plant. We associate it with Christmas. It's a native of Mexico, Guatemala, that kind of region of the world. And it grows in the wild there. Now, it does not get the colouring there that it gets here. And the reason for that is because commercially grown poinsettia is different to the one that grows naturally in the wild. Because what you have to do when you're growing it is you have to keep it in the dark from around September, October, November. For 10 to 12 weeks, you have to keep this plant in absolute darkness for 14 to 16 hours a day. And literally the length, so the colour of the bracts is determined by the length of darkness, or the amount of darkness that it gets, rather than the amount of light, which is quite strange. We think plants need light in order to produce their best. Poinsettia, no. In order to get those bracts, you have to have, and if you break the cycle by a small amount, it will actually discolour the plants. And I have worked in nurseries where poinsettias were grown, and you could tell when somebody, the whole place was covered in film to keep out the light. And if somebody just opened the covering to look in at the plants, the light would go in a strip along the glass house, and those plants that got that light will be slightly discoloured. It's quite the amazing thing to see. It's just absolutely amazing. So it's the darkness that you need to ensure. But you're growing it at home, though, you don't need to keep it in darkness at all. It will grow perfectly well under light at home. Keep it warm though. The one thing the poinsettia does not like in your house is cold, or drafts, even worse. It'll tolerate a bit of cool temperature, but it will not tolerate a draft. So if you keep it by a door, second the door is open, draft, it'll drop its leaves, and that's the plant's trying to save itself. But you've just spent a few bob on it, or you've got it as a present, and you want it to look its best. So keep it out of drafts. Keep it somewhere bright, not in very direct sunlight, but keep it bright, and it will give you many weeks of colour. Treat it more like an annual, really, I suppose, rather than anything else. You can keep it until next. It will keep on growing because it's it will just stay growing, and you can keep it until next year. But unless you treat it next September with those dark cycles, it won't have the same colour for next Christmas. So Euphorbia pulcherrima is the plant that we most associate with Christmas when we see it. And it is beautiful, it is spectacular, and it's well worth growing. That's only a short synopsis of what poinsettia, Euphorbia pulcherrima is. And that's it for this year. Well, no, I have another plant before the new year, I hope, but definitely before Christmas. So if we don't meet any of you in person, have a safe and peaceful Christmas. In my other job, in my full-time job, in my real job, in my paying job, I'm working from St. Stephen's Day on. So you might be lucky enough to be going horse racing. If you are, enjoy it. If you're not, or even if you are, stay safe. Do not drink and drive. Stay safe on the roads. You don't want to be a statistic in 2025. We've had far too many deaths on the road already. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in 2026. That's me. That's the Contrary Fuchsia, and I'm Jim.